Welcome to another Vixa Vaughn romance audiobook. We're excited to have you join us. Whether you're into second chance romance, enemies to lovers, fake marriage, or any other trope, Vixa Vaughn offers you the chance to escape into stories that will carry you away into heart-pounding romance and gripping characters. While we want to get you the full experience, some parts of this audiobook are abridged to stay abreast of YouTube's community guidelines. If you want the full experience, you can always head to Vixa Vaughn Romance and use code VIXA40 to get the unabridged version of this audiobook for 40% off. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Chapter 1. Finn? New York. Its busy streets, honking cars, bustling people, and overcrowded buildings. I love all of it. I can't help it. All the city's crappy facets disappear as I walk to my office in high spirits, feeling the good music blast in my ears and trying hard not to skip on my way. Today is the day I claim my right to promotion. I've been a regular employee at Progresso Media Inc. for a long time, and after 2 long years of waiting patiently, my luck is turning over. Our company has an upcoming project that I'm dying to lead. If I land this, I'll be sure to be the next one to rise up the ranks. I've spent so many sleepless nights working on my proposal for the new advertisement campaign, and it has finally come together. I finalized everything last night, and I'm hell-bent on presenting it the first chance I get. This proposal is gonna blow them away, I mutter as I stroll closer to the building, possibly with a creepy smile on my face. Noticing the hot dog stand around the building block, I walk over to get myself something to eat. I'm so excited that I almost skipped breakfast today. I walk up to the stand, glad there's no line, and take off my AirPods as I place my order. What'll it be? The one with onion and bacon bits, I answer, as I quickly scan the menu. And put in some extra cheese and ketchup. Thanks. I fall into a relaxed conversation with the stand owner while he prepares my breakfast. I start telling him about my plans after I get promoted, listing off the vacation days I can finally take. Not that I'm not enjoying this conversation. He awkwardly cuts into my blabbering. But don't you have work to go to? I get confused for a second before checking my watch. Oh no, I'm gonna be late. I pick up the hot dog, adjust the proposal plates tucked under my arm, and sprint off toward our office building. I'm an idiot, of all days to lose track of time. I still have a lot to prepare for my presentation today. Plus, coming in late doesn't make a good impression. Sure, I've been late before, but this is just terrible timing. Damn it, I couldn't even eat my hot dog. I feel my phone vibrating in my pocket as I run. It must be Jeff calling, but I had plates under my arms, briefcase in one hand, and hot dog in the other. This coworker of mine gonna have to wait until I get to the office. Not long, though. Just one more corner and I'll be at the entrance. I look down at my watch to see how much time I have left. Damn, not much either. I turn to the corner and... What the hell? A woman screams as I accidentally bump into her. I'm stunned for a moment after noticing how gorgeous she is. If I wasn't running late, I'd hit on her for sure. I'm about to apologize when I feel the sting of hot liquid on my arm. I look down and gasp in shock as I realize my proposal plates are soaking in coffee. Oh, you clumsy son of a... My presentation, I yell, all thoughts of apologizing forgotten, as I helplessly stare at the droplets of coffee dripping onto the ground. Well-deserved, jerk. Look what you did to my blouse. The woman flusters over her clothes as a string of curses leaves her mouth. Her top was covered in ketchup, and I can tell it's from the hot dog in my hand. I would have apologized for messing up her blouse, but did she say well-deserved? Is she kidding me? What the? Your coffee ruined my proposal plates. Do you have any idea how important these are? Her head snaps to me, eyes burning with anger. Well, maybe if someone hadn't run into me and dumped ketchup all over my blouse. We were turning to a corner, genius. I couldn't see you, I retort, fully recognizing in my mind that it was my fault. But at the same time, people run into other people all the time, and I literally didn't see her at all. You were running, she shrieks. Even if you didn't see me, we could have avoided each other if you weren't running. It's your coffee on my plates. And it's your ketchup on my blouse. She proceeds to go off on a tirade about how clumsy I am, and how I wasn't careful about bumping into someone in such a crowded area. She makes a good point, I admit. But who the hell cares about a stupid blouse when my plates are soaking in hot coffee? My future is on the line here. I don't have to take anything from a rude, annoying woman who keeps yelling at me. I open my mouth to retort, but my phone starts vibrating again. Knowing I'm already late, I decide to answer the call to at least tell Jeff I'm on my way. I dump my ruined hot dog into the nearest garbage can and fish out my phone. But before I could answer, the call drops. My eyes grow wide in shock as I read the caller's name. Number. It wasn't Jeff calling. It's my boss with 5 missed calls. This was supposed to be the best day of my life, I hear the woman whining non-stop. You're in luck, 'cause I have to go to work, I seethe. Any other day, I wouldn't have backed down from a verbal exchange of insults and leave her crying. She rolls her eyes mockingly. What are you gonna do? Dump more ketchup on me? I glower but keep my mouth shut and walk away. Yeah, good riddance, she calls after me. I hope I never see you again, jerk. Likewise, I mutter as I enter the building, bolt toward the elevator, all the while cursing my luck. Might as well say goodbye to my promotion now.
Chapter 2. Brooklyn. Stupid, loser, clumsy piece of... I mutter a stream of insults under my breath as I lock myself in the restroom of my favorite restaurant. I'm trying to remove as much stain on my blouse as I can, but I'm not having any luck. It's stuck to my front like a giant blot of blood against the coral silk fabric. I look like I got stabbed in the chest. I thought I was having the perfect morning after landing a job at Progresso Media Inc. It's one of the leading advertising companies in the country, making it the best place for a steady, fast-growing career. Gotta start early if I want to propel my career forward according to my 10-year plan. And so far, I'm right on track. I'm a fairly recent graduate from Brown University, finishing my master's degree at the top of my class. I applied immediately for Progresso, and not only did I get the job, but I was also given a big project at the end of my final interview a few hours ago. I can't say it was unexpected. My resume is flawless. And with my grades along with a long list of achievements outside the university, frankly, they must be crazy if they let me go. Some people call me an overachiever, but this is how my parents raised me. Being the best at everything I do is normal. With it comes a few mental health issues, but I choose to ignore them when I can. What's my anxiety compared to what I've planned for the future? I sigh and check my reflection in the mirror. Removing the stain is hopeless by this point. I should have worn a blazer when I came in for the interview, but I wanted to look good today because I'm meeting my boyfriend, Jeremy. He sent me a text early morning that he has something important to say, so he'd like us to meet at our favorite restaurant after I get hired. Yes, we were both sure I'd get the job. I have a hunch why Jeremy invited me out today, and it's another item I can cross off my meticulous long-term plan. If those dreamy looks and being extra nice to me are any indication, then there's a huge chance he'll propose to me today. I've been waiting for it all week. Thinking about it puts a smile on my face, and I can't help the butterflies in my stomach. It feels like my future is starting today. Land an amazing job, get promoted in a year, be engaged by 27 years old, and get married a year later to my 30-year-old boyfriend. See? Perfect. Except for the fact that my engagement outfit got ruined by some random careless stranger who couldn't even utter a single apology. To think he's cute. It's a shame someone with that kind of face has such a horrible personality. Just thinking about him makes my blood boil. I sigh again. At least I'm not wearing white. While fixing my hair and retouching my makeup, my phone pings. The text came from Jeremy. "I'm here, baby. Already got us a table." I grin to myself as I hurry out of the restroom, spotting my boyfriend on the side near the window. Forget that stranger. My boyfriend is hot as hell with the body of an athlete and the face of a movie star. And oh boy, who do I see with him? That's right, his parents. I knew it. He's going to propose. My grin gets wider, despite knowing his parents being there isn't an actual confirmation. But for what reason could they possibly be here, if not that? I walk to the table, nervous but excited, and wave to Jeremy's parents when they see me. When I reach them, I kiss my boyfriend on the cheek and sit next to him. "I already ordered. Is that okay?" he tells me. "Sure, babe." I didn't have a particular meal in mind anyway. As long as it isn't smothered in garlic, I'd hate for my breath to stink when I say yes to him later. "So what's going on? Are you guys planning a family vacation or something?" I turn to his parents, pretending to be clueless. "Nothing like that." His mom giggles. For a second, she eyes the stain on my blouse, but thankfully doesn't say anything about it. "We were just walking around the city and decided to join you two for brunch," she adds. "Oh, that's nice." I hope I didn't let the disappointment slip in my tone, but for good measure, I add in a chipper voice, "He said he has something important to share. I'm glad you're here to hear it." "I'd rather eat first," Jeremy says, as a waiter places our food on the table. We fall into idle chatter as we eat, but I'm finding it hard to enjoy my meal. It's okay, right? He could still propose. Maybe he wants to surprise all of us. Or maybe he'll do it after his parents leave because he wants the proposal to be more intimate and private. As my brain scrambles for excuses and other possible scenarios, I realize he hasn't asked me about my new job yet. "By the way, babe," I start. "Aren't you going to ask how my interview went?" "You got the job, right?" He dismisses me with a wave of his hand. "No big deal. They'd be stupid not to hire you anyway." His parents congratulate me, but I'm surprised he thinks it isn't important. I prepared for days and went out of my way to snoop around their next project and craft my answers around it. I thought it was a brilliant plan, but Jeremy won't even listen to it. Jeremy then clears his throat. "So, you guys ready to hear my exciting news?" I perk up at that, snapping me out of my self-pity. He's going to propose now, isn't he? "I got a job offer from England." "What?" "And I'm leaving the following week." What the actual heck? My throat tightens. His parents cheer and congratulate him, and I'm left sitting there with my half-eaten meal, speechless. "Brooke?" He taps my shoulder, breaking me out of my trance. I kiss him on the lips, murmuring how happy I am for him. I wrap my arms around his neck to hide my face. So much for my perfect day.
Chapter 3. Finn. It's crazy how one horrible morning could escalate to new heights and turn my day into the worst of my life. I may be overreacting, but it doesn't change the fact that I failed in securing the lead for the advertising project. It pretty much confirms I'm not getting the promotion. How long do I still have to wait? Another 2 years? 3? 5? I'm 29, and I'm still licking the boots of my superiors. What the hell do I have to do for them to realize that I'm ready for more responsibilities? That I can be a leader too? Maybe stop drinking at bars on a weeknight for starters, I mutter as I get off the cab and make my way inside Sarah's Nook. Sarah's Nook is my go-to place whenever the stress that piles up is too much for me to handle. I've been coming here for a year now, and it easily became my favorite bar. The heady smell of alcohol and cigarette welcomes me as I head straight for the bar counter. As usual, the tables are full, but not overly crowded. It's the main reason why I like spending time here. It's fun and lively without being overly loud. It almost feels cozy that it doesn't matter if I'm here alone. I asked Jeff to come with me, of course, but he denied me in favor of overtime work. What a friend, leaving me to wallow in depression all by my lonesome self. A bottle of beer, I tell the bartender as I take a seat. First of many. Rough day. He pops the cap off and slides it toward me. That's an understatement, I scoff before I take a swig of beer. I was angry when I clocked in this morning, and I was simmering when I left the office. But now, I just want to drink everything away. Swirling the contents of my bottle, I sigh and recall the rejection for leading Progresso's new ad campaign. All my efforts have gone to waste because some privileged new hire swooped in and took it from me? They chose a whole new employee to lead the project I was aiming for, I say, loud enough for the bartender to hear. Before I know it, I start venting about how I bumped into a woman who spilled her coffee all over my proposal plates, which led to me coming in late and delaying my planned presentation. I found out later in the afternoon that they hired a new girl and assigned her the project. They told me she graduated with a master's degree from Brown University or Columbia or whatever. It was some Ivy League school I don't even care about. As if the school written on her diploma dictates the quality of her work. The bartender serves other customers as I ramble on about the newbie who probably has zero experience but has a ton of connections. He nods his head and grunts in response every now and then, so I know he's listening. What a good guy, wasting his time on someone like me when he obviously had something better to do. I kind of feel sorry for him, but it doesn't stop me from spouting more of my crap. I've been in line for a promotion for 2 years. How the hell is that fair? It's not, he answers hesitantly. Damn right it's not, I yell, slamming my 4th bottle down. I'm not even drunk yet, but my frustrations resurface as I continue my rant. And the worst part, I go on, my voice rising with my temper, is I have to work with her. The lights dim a second later, and I squint in the darkness, confused. What the hell? It's open mic tonight, the bartender says. Any customer is welcome to sing. Open mic? I've been coming here for a long time. How come I didn't know about this? The lights return via a spotlight directed at a makeshift stage where 2 microphone stands were placed side by side. Next to the stage are a complete set of instruments for a band. It's a recent addition, the bartender explains. I'd say still experimental. The owner wanted to change things up a bit. You know, engage more with the customers and whatnot. Interesting. I watch as the first singer goes on stage. The band starts playing. The man has a great voice, and I slowly find myself enjoying the song despite my initial awful mood. The singers take the stage 1 or 2 at a time, and it's funny because not all of them are good. The whole idea was all in good fun, and the audience's laughter is contagious that it doesn't take long before I'm laughing along with them. Hey, handsome. I suddenly hear the sultry voice of a woman behind me. I turn around and find a gorgeous redhead with a smoking hot body smiling at me. She's wearing a tight red dress that barely covers her plump bottom. Great legs, too. I can tell she's a rich girl who doesn't have to worry about work if she has the time to go out drinking on a weeknight and hitting on random guys. She slips onto the stool beside me and orders a cocktail. I'm Courtney, she says as she turns her attention back to me. She offers her hand for me to shake, and I take it, putting on a charming smile. Finn. Nice to meet you, Finn. Likewise. The girl crosses her creamy legs, and I glance down shamelessly. We flirt, and she bats her eyes at me while I whisper compliments into her ear. At least my luck with girls hasn't changed, I think, as she places a hand on my thigh. I'm distracted when the upbeat music shifts to a mellow song and hear the sweetest voice singing Moon River. I whip my head around to watch the singer, immediately becoming a fan of the airy tone in her voice. but before I can see her face, Courtney's hand on my thigh slides upward. I smirk, knowing exactly what she wants. With the singer completely forgotten, I lean forward and kiss Courtney, slipping my tongue into her mouth when she brushes against me. "Let's get out of here," she whispers when we part. I stand up and leave the bar without glancing back. This isn't such a bad way to end the day.
Chapter 4. Brooklyn. I wake up bright and early for my first day at work. Monday mornings are usually a drag, but I spent the last 3 days gearing up for work and researching about the new advertisement campaign, making me more excited than nervous. I reviewed in detail all the files they sent me over email, and they already made adjustments based on the proposal I pitched during my interview. They had a lot of good points in their original plan, but some of them failed to address the bigger issues in the ad, especially when it comes to the budget. My pitch, on the other hand, takes less time and money and has maximum projected results. I'm glad they saw reason and went with my ideas instead. Of course, there are still some factors to cover and a few conflicts to resolve, but otherwise, we're mostly on the same page. I enter the company building with a smile on my face and take the elevator to the 11th floor. Going through a glass door, I'm greeted by a woman in a navy blue pantsuit. "You must be Brooklyn," she says, shaking my hand. I'm Jennifer's assistant. "Welcome to the team." She gives me a short tour of the office and introduces me to the few employees present. "You came a little early, so there aren't many people yet," she explains as she leads me to my desk. "This is yours. We've provided you with the essential office supplies, but feel free to personalize your area." "Thanks," I say with a smile, and follow up about meeting with the boss. If I'm not wrong, we should have a discussion about the new ad campaign. "Yes, I'll take you to the conference room. You can wait for Jennifer and your project partner there." I might have been a little too excited, I think, as I wait alone in the conference room. I wonder who I'd be working with. Hopefully, that person's someone younger than me so that they wouldn't make a big deal about me being a new hire. I turn on my laptop and read over my project plans to pass the time. After a few more minutes of waiting, the door finally opens, and a tall blonde man walks inside. Wait, I know that face. "Good morning," he greets me in a cheery voice before his smile falls. He stares at me in shock. I gasp as I recognize him. He's the rude klutz from the other day. "You!" we exclaim at the same time. "What are you doing here?" he asks, nose flaring comically. "For your information," I scoff and flip my hair over my shoulder. "I'm the lead for the ad campaign." "You're Brooklyn Miller, the one who stole my project?" "Excuse me? They gave me this project during my interview 3 days ago." I smirk. I didn't even have to beg for it. "Just because you graduated from some fancy Ivy League school doesn't mean you can look down on me and take what's mine. It wasn't yours to begin with. Jesus, you're a sore loser, aren't you?" He glares at me with such contempt that I almost feel guilty. But climbing the corporate ladder is a nasty war, and if you slack off for even a minute, you'll tumble down so hard and be forgotten by your superiors as if you never existed. It would have been mine if you hadn't spilled coffee on my presentation the other day. "Oh, you're really being mature. Blaming me for your clumsiness, huh?" I roll my eyes, quickly losing my temper. "You ruined my blouse, so I didn't get away scot-free either." "Yeah, okay. Like your blouse is as important as my career. You Ivy League graduates are elitists who think they're much better than employees who have more experience." I get up from my seat, fuming from such a presumptuous accusation. "You don't have the right to say that." "I said what I said, bitch." "Screw you." The door suddenly swings open, and I whip my head around to see Jennifer Stevens, our boss, walking in. She didn't hear me, did she? "I hope I'm not interrupting something," she says. her voice ice cold and telling me she did hear our verbal spat. I sit back down. The jerk sits in front of me and I try my best to ignore him. Her assistant sets up the presentation as we sit in uncomfortable silence. I take furtive glances at Jennifer, admiring her cool demeanor and no-nonsense attitude. She wasn't there during my final interview, but I always knew I wanted to work for her. Jennifer's one of the reasons why Progresso is my first choice of company. She's an excellent role model and a boss in her own right at the age of 39, all while looking like she walked out of a chic photo shoot. I wanted to make a good first impression on her, but once again, this infuriating man ruined it for me. God, what is he even doing here? Don't tell me. Ms. Miller, I believe you're already acquainted with Finn Mitchell. That's one way to put it. You two will be working together on this project, so you better learn to cooperate. From my peripheral vision, I noticed him roll his eyes and mouth words of insult. Miss Jennifer, I say slowly, this is a little forward of me, but would it be possible to work with a different employee? For what reason? She asks. Yeah, Miss Miller, Mr. Klutz chimes in. For what reason? I bite my lower lip to stop myself from retorting. I believe I can work better with someone else for the sake of the project, I try to say in the most professional way, but Jennifer sees right through it. Making demands already? She eyes me with scrutiny. You just got hired and were given a big project. Do you think that makes you special? I didn't mean that. I gave you the lead because we're implementing your strategy. But you have no idea how to handle the people on this team. Therefore, I expect you to treat Finn as your equal on this. The jerk had the audacity to smirk at me, and it takes all my dignity to hold back my anger. You're right. I apologize. I clench my fists and decide I needed to cool off. Will you excuse me? I need to go to the restroom. I shoot my enemy a glare before reaching the door. If only looks could kill. Prepare yourself, Finn Mitchell. I won't forget this humiliation.
Chapter 5. Finn. The meeting took forever. I go out for a smoke the moment Jennifer dismisses us. I can't believe I got partnered with the last person in the world I'd like to be with. It would have been more tolerable if this Brooklyn Miller was a different person, someone nicer and quieter. At least that way I'd hate her less. Why did she have to be the woman I bumped into the other day? Am I in a sitcom or something? Hey, little early for a smoke, don't you think? I hear Jeff's voice come up from behind me. I scoff as he stands beside me and pulls out his own pack of cigarettes. You're one to talk. Jeff hums in noncommittally, and we fall quiet for a minute. I start to calm down little by little until he brings up the cause of my stress. How was your meeting with the boss? Terrible. He raises a brow. I thought Jennifer appointed you as the new girl's partner. I exhale a puff of smoke, wondering if this is a good time to rant about the bane of my existence. Cigarette breaks don't last forever, and I have a lot to talk about. Remember the woman I complained to you about? I begin, unable to hold back my irritation. The one who spilled coffee on my proposal plates? Yeah, what about her? She's the newly hired woman who stole my project. To my surprise, Jeff laughs and gives me a heavy pat on the back. You have awful luck, my friend. The hell, man. This is no laughing matter. We were literally shouting at each other before Jennifer came in. I can't believe she didn't call us out. I frown when he laughs harder. Is my misery entertaining to you? You fought with a woman you just met, he points out. Are you a kid? He keeps laughing, and I have the sudden urge to kick his butt. She took my chance at promotion. I defend myself. Stop laughing, damn it. You're overreacting. She was hired a few days ago, and was given the big project I was aiming for just because she's from Brown. My chance at getting promoted is practically gone. How the hell is that overreacting? You could still get promoted. I pinch the area between my eyebrows in an attempt to stop an impending headache. I know this is Jeff's way of keeping my hopes up, but I know better than to hope for something that won't happen. This company holds Ivy League school graduates in such high regard that it's impossible to compete with them. I'm a realistic person, I say, finishing my cigarette and lighting another. The only way I'd have another chance is if Brooklyn quits or gets fired. You should make her do that then. What? Make her resign. You could get her job and take responsibility for the project, he says all too seriously. You're a creative guy. I'm sure you can think of something. I stare at him as if he's lost his mind. There's no way I can do something so underhanded. A few seconds later, Jeff bursts out laughing. Man, the look on your face, he guffaws. Of course you can't do that. Stupid, I mutter. I'm going back inside. Don't take my joke seriously, all right? He says as he walks away, still chuckling to himself. Like I'd ever resort to playing dirty like that. It's stupid and petty. What am I, a child? But why do I feel a strong urge to do it? I've been in line for promotion for a long time. No matter how much I try to suck it up, I can't get over the injustice of giving a big ad campaign to a newbie. That in itself is cheating. So what if I choose to play dirty? It's not like Brooklyn won't find a job in some other company. Besides, who would think a grown man would pull off something to get a coworker to resign? It's so childish that it might work, and I might just give it a try. I put out my cigarette and walk to the elevator, a plan already forming in my head. I go all the way down to the first floor and head for the clinic. If anybody catches me slacking off on my job, I can easily lie and tell them I was here. My reasons are far from getting sick, though. I ask the nurse in charge for some laxative, pretending I need it for medical reasons. I can be a pretty decent liar if I want to be. Going back up the office floor, I pass by the pantry and take out a mug and a coffee pot from the cupboard. My break is long over, but this will be worth it in the end. I make coffee, check my surroundings for anyone who might see, and put laxatives in it. This ought to do it, I whisper, smiling to myself as I peek at the desks and find Brooklyn's. I wait for her to leave before carefully placing the mug of coffee on her table. The plan is simple. Make her coffee and let her think it's a peace offering, and when she drinks it, she'll be stuck in the bathroom for such a long time that she'll regret applying for a job here in Progresso. After all the years of hard work I put into this company, it's high time they repay me with a promotion. I won't let a newbie get in the way of that. I go back to my desk and pretend to work, while waiting for Brooklyn to drink the coffee. If only she wasn't such a bitch to me, I might actually cooperate with her. Let's see who gets the last laugh now.
Chapter 6. Brooklyn. I'm about to head to the restroom when I realize I forgot my purse back at my table. Muttering a curse under my breath, I wish that I wasn't distracted so early in the morning. But how can I not be distracted when I'm filled with anger? I have to deal with the biggest jerk I thought I'll never see again. Too bad. The universe is against me because I didn't just see the bastard again. But lo and behold, I'm working with him. I quickly hurry back to my cubicle, expecting to see the purse I left behind. But what I didn't expect to see is Finn Mitchell, the person who tops my most hated people list. I stop on my tracks to hide behind the water cooler as I watch what he's doing in my cubicle while I'm not there. My eyes narrow when he pours a pot of coffee into a mug and places it on my table before putting down a little note. I'm feeling too suspicious to even think it's cute and sweet of him. There's already bad blood between us. He hates me ever since we bumped into each other, and I can confidently say that the feeling's mutual. His saccharine shtick won't fool me because deep down, I know what he's doing exactly. I've seen that smug look he's wearing as he finishes delivering the coffee. I know that triumphant trot in his steps as he leaves my cubicle to go to his coffee pot and all. All those familiar signs I see in him are more than enough to have my mind transport me back to when I was but a mere slip of a girl on my first day of school. I never ran out of bullies from my first day of school until I graduated, and even now that I'm an adult, I still have my very own bully. A cute bully, but a bully nonetheless. I scoff at that and slink back out of the office. I then make an exaggerated show of just returning from the restroom, making sure that Finn sees me coming in. I head toward my table and eye the mug with a narrowed gaze as if it's a snake ready to strike at me and spill my blood. I reach for the note, and I feel the cold air prickle my skin as I read it with suspicion. Hey, partner. How about starting your day with a good cup of joe? From yours truly. I don't trust this. I don't trust him. I don't trust any of this. As I seethe, an idea pops into my head, and I can't help but give an evil smirk. I remember the coffee pot he used and took with him to his cubicle. How about I give him a literal taste of his own damn bullying medicine? Snatching the mug of coffee from my desk, I put a super sweet smile on my face and made a beeline toward Finn's cubicle. Knock, knock, I sing-song, rapping my knuckles lightly on the divider that surrounds his cubicle. I see him get startled from his seat. It's clear on his face that he didn't expect me to drop by. I also struggled to keep my smile pleasant and not evil-looking when I saw the pot of coffee still there on his desk. Brooklyn, what a pleasant surprise, he says between gritted teeth. Oh, how cute! I saunter forward and sit on the chair in front of his desk. Isn't it? Well, shouldn't that be my line, though? I smile. I got this lovely coffee and this sweet note so early in the morning. I place the note in front of him before continuing. Unfortunately, Finn, I know that we started on the wrong foot and then things happened. We didn't get to, mend the bond. So I want to remedy that and decide that honesty's the best policy. Being honest with each other is one of the foundations of a good relationship, don't you think? He swallows and starts to sweat a little bit. I had to bite back a laugh. So let me go first. I don't trust you. I declare. And we both know that trust is important when it comes to making a good relationship. So I reach for the pot of coffee and fill his thankfully empty mug. To fully establish trust between us, I want you to drink your coffee first, and then I'll gladly follow suit. Finn hesitates and squirms in his seat. I know he doesn't want to drink it, which only confirms my thoughts that he did put something in it. The bastard. Well, he's going to drink it one way or another. I lift a questioning brow, my face full of innocence. What's wrong? Not a coffee drinker? He clears his throat. No, I'm not really. He falters. I frown. You're not a coffee drinker, but you have a pot of coffee with you and a coffee mug. Are you going to give it all to me? Or, oh, I get it. Since you're not a coffee drinker, how about I take the pot and give it to the others? I know they'd appreciate a hot cup of coffee from you. No, he shouts. I got him. He clears his throat again and sits back on his chair. I'll drink it. Perfect. Don't worry, I'll drink with you. I know it's a little unfair of me to demand trust in you when I don't give it back. I raise my mug to him. Cheers. He just nods before tipping his mug back, and I watch his throat work as he drinks that coffee. He's also watching me, so I give him a beaming smile before pretending to sip my coffee, swallowing saliva to fool him. When we both put our mugs down, I see that he drank a good amount of coffee. I carefully cover my mug as I stand from the seat so that he won't see that I didn't drink. Happy to work with you, partner, I whisper, smirking before turning to leave his cubicle. Moments later, I saw Finn rush out of his cubicle and pass by mine in a blur, taking a turn toward the restroom. I can't help but chuckle at that. Brooke, 1, Finn, 0.
Chapter 7. Finn. Damn, damn, damn. I swear that word is playing on repeat in my head ever since I had Brooke dupe me into succumbing to my own prank. I had to make countless trips to the restroom just so I don't crap my pants while I'm working. Because of that, I didn't get a lot of work done as I would have liked. It also doesn't help that every time I pass by Brooke's cubicle to get to the restroom, I always seem to catch that half smile, half smirk curving on her lips. It's beyond irritating and humiliating. I should have thought that she already knew what I was up to. But like the stupid idiot that I am, I trusted her pretty, sweet, and innocent face. I got to know the hard way what a good actress she was. I hate that she already thinks she's one step ahead of me because of that. Well, I'll just have to work harder and think of more careful, sneakier, and more destructive attacks. Any chance for me to get that promotion with her in the picture is an all-out zero. This is why I have to do better to get her out of the picture of her own volition. I'll make sure that she regrets coming into the company and stealing the promotion from me. I nod with determination, and it seems my stomach's also growling its agreement, telling me what a great course of action I've plotted. Only when it growls again for the second time did I realize that it's actually telling me to go to the nearest bathroom immediately. Even though I just arrived at my place, and the working day is already over, the laxative in the coffee seems nowhere near fading. I shouldn't have drunk so much, but my fear of her taking the pot and giving it to others made me drink more than necessary. Cursing Brooke under my breath again, I quickly unlock my door and head straight toward the bathroom, hoping the laxative will wear off soon. Once my stomach finally calms, I begin to brainstorm my next moves. They'll be less obvious, more subtle, and more detrimental to her project performance. If my plans don't make her run for the hills, she'll have a catastrophic work performance. Jennifer will then see that Brooke's not fit for the job and decide to replace her with none other than me. So for almost the whole night, I carefully plot my attacks and schedule them all for the week. And with the arrival of morning comes the implementation of my plans. For day one, I sneak into Brooke's cubicle while she's out to have lunch with one of our coworkers. Mindful of the cameras, I dive down under her desk and fish out a screwdriver from my pocket. I remove a couple of screws from Brooke's chair and loosen some others. I then go back to my cubicle and wait for the inevitable. However, I guess everything's against me, because when Brooke and her companion returned to the office, there was a scream all right. But it didn't sound like Brooke. We all head on over to her cubicle and see her companion sprawled on the floor, along with a stack of papers, while my supposed target kneels beside her, helping her up. Drat, I fume in my head. No matter. There's always next time. Unfortunately, it seems cheering myself up like that only leads me to disappointment. Because the next day, I did the same song and dance while sneaking back into Brooke's cubicle. This time I jumble and rewire her work computer, hoping the damage would corrupt all of her progress on the project the next time she boots it up. When she arrives and starts up her computer, everything gets damaged as planned. I would have been happy and exhilarated at that, but when one of our coworkers asked her about her files, she waves it away like it's nothing, telling us that she has a backup of everything in her cloud. How she gets away with everything I do is irritating the hell out of me. I feel like she somehow knows I'm up to something and manages to stay one step ahead of me. If I didn't know any better, I'd think that she has a bug in my room or worse, in my head, because escaping every one of my attacks is unthinkable unless she knows what I've been planning to do to her. And when I thought nothing I do gets through to her, that everything I do fails to mess up her progress with the project, something suddenly happened. I honestly didn't plan it because I thought it's a pretty weak attack at first. But when I pass by the conference room, I see Brooke alone, tidying her papers and presentation after a meeting. I know it's a childish attack and a little petty, but all my other plans are a little above the bar of petty and childish, yet they still fail. Desperate and already close to my boiling point, I don't think twice. I slam the door of the conference room, lock it, and turn off all the lights. Call me evil or whatever, but a morbid satisfaction fills me when I hear Brooke scream in terror inside as she pounds the door, calling out for help. Of course, I don't help because this is beyond funny. So where's your smirking, triumphant face now, Brooke? I mock her in my head as I lean back on the hallway. I situate myself a little ways away from the conference room and watch, listening and smirking at her shouts for help and pleas. I saw that, a familiar voice says behind me. Smiling, I turn toward my friend and co-worker, Jeffrey William, but my smile falters when I see him frowning at me, lips thin with obvious displeasure. What? She's our age, not a kid. She's not supposed to be scared in the dark like that anymore, I say defensively. You know that you've taken things a little too far this time, Finn. You're such a jerk, Jeff grumbles at me and pushes me out of the way, making a beeline toward the locked door. I frown and wonder what got his panties in a twist as I watch him unlock the door. Brooke flings herself outside only to stumble while trying to avoid Jeff, and she crashes on the floor on her hands and knees. I can't help a bubble of laughter escape my mouth. She hears it, and her head snaps in my direction. Looking at her red, puffy eyes and tear-stained face instantly wipes off the mirth in me and makes me feel like a jerk for laughing at her. Her face scrunches up more at the sight of me before she breaks into a sob. She then picks herself off the floor and rushes toward the restroom. Yup, I'm a total jerk.
I hope you're enjoying this audiobook by Vic Savon. If you want to keep hearing more audiobooks, then please hit that subscribe button and like the video. It may seem insignificant, but the more people that subscribe, the easier it is to produce more audiobooks in the future. So please help us out and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for listening, and now back to your book.
Chapter 8, Brooklyn. Everything's so dark. I can't find the door. I'm trying so hard to find it by scratching and swiping blindly at the black void, hoping I'll hit a light switch or something. But nothing's there because I'm just swiping at the air. It's just me in the middle of the dark, and I'm scared. However, as soon as I let my feelings known, I suddenly hear voices in the dark. 9 points out of 10? You have the gall to show your proud face to your father and me when you only got 9 out of 10? It should be perfect, Brooklyn. A perfect 10. Mother? I manage to squeak while looking around me frantically. My breathing suddenly spikes up, a familiar sign that my panic attack is coming to town. No, I have to keep it in. My parents can't see me like this. I'm already a disappointment to them no matter how hard I try. No, you don't square your shoulders or bend your knees. In golf, you have to do both. But I never wanted to play golf, Father. I whimper and cover my ears. The disapproving faces of my parents show up momentarily. Then they melt back into the darkness as quickly as they appeared. However, once they're gone, I hear the faint yet familiar jeering laughter that gradually becomes louder and louder with every passing second. The voices of my bullies laugh, and fingers from the darkness are pointing at me accusingly. I want to get out, but it's pitch black around me, and I know that somewhere in the darkness, the door is locked. I know that I can't get out. Then I hear someone in the darkness laugh louder than the rest, manlier, and even more mocking than the others. When I look up, my eyes widen when I see his laughing face, his finger pointing at me mockingly. Finn Mitchell. No, leave me alone. I scream in the darkness, jolting upright in my bed. I'm panting so hard that one would think something was chasing me, although I don't think that sentiment is wrong. I can't sleep. This is probably the 3rd time I woke up tonight from nightmares about a locked door, a dark room, my parents' disapproving statements, and my bully's laughter. And finally, that particular bully who made all the nightmares rush back to me, Finn Mitchell. My hands crumple the bed sheets, as anger and humiliation coursed through me at the memory of him laughing at my misery. I already knew about his pranks and his attempts to put me in trouble over the past few days, but I'm a professional and an adult. I don't want to stoop to his childish level, but I also think it's high time for payback. The next day, I know that Finn will be holding a presentation. Fortunately, I'll be on his team with one of our coworkers, Jeffrey William. I'm not expected to talk a lot in this presentation. We've already talked about splitting the parts evenly amongst ourselves. For this one, my job is to greet and introduce Finn and Jeff to whomever we're to meet today. After that, the two, mostly Finn, will do the talking. Well, I'll make sure that he won't get the floor, because he'll be lingering in a different kind of floor, specifically the tiled floors of the bathroom. I snicker to myself as I pour a little laxative on Finn's mug, leaving the coffee pot alone. I don't want to alarm him if I don't pour Jeff or myself a coffee while I pour his mug with it. While we're preparing for the presentation, I do my best to ignore Finn as he does his own setup at the head of the table. But I keep seeing him glance at me from the corner of my eye every once in a while. Once I'm done, I grab my empty mug and hold it out toward Jeff, who's closer to the coffee pot. "Hey, Jeff, could you pour me some coffee, please?" I need to perk myself up from seeing something terrible so early in the morning, I tell him sweetly, feeling a little satisfaction when I feel Finn stiffen. Jeff gives Finn an exasperated look before smiling genuinely at me. He pours me some coffee, which I immediately blow on and sip. I hear Finn sigh. I watch as he lifts his mug and holds it out to Jeff as well, making me take another sip lest I give myself away with my smile when I see him take a big gulp. I notice that whenever Finn feels anxious, wary, or guilty about something, he takes bigger gulps of drinks. Interesting. It's also convenient since that little quirk in his system will be working in my favor. A moment later, I hear something growling. "Oh no, not this again." Finn groans. After that, he rushes out of the conference room, ignoring Jeff, who's calling him back. I smile at that and immediately drop it when Jeff turns to me with narrowed eyes. This is bad. Jeff rakes a hand over his hair in frustration. I don't want to admit it, but I think I see a little accusation in his eyes. I think he knows what I just did. He sighs heavily. The investors will be here soon, and I only know my part of the presentation. Is it too much to ask that you know Finn's part? It's the main topic that I know the investors are looking forward to hearing about. My heart drops to my stomach, and sweat begins to form on my forehead. "Investors?" I manage to squeak out. "You don't mean the investors, do you? That was today?" Jeff nods gravely and scrambles toward Finn's laptop. I immediately stand beside him, getting a little frantic myself. Damn, I repeat in my head, feeling really bad about my payback's timing. I should have paid more attention to the dates and the meetings in my calendar, but I was just so angry that Damn it. Jeff's curse cuts through my thoughts. I look at him, worried as he furiously taps on the keyboard and clicks on the mouse pad. "What? What is it?" I whisper. I don't see Finn's file for the presentation on this laptop. I bet he memorized his part just to show off. I don't know how to explain the main topics because that's Finn's responsibility, and you and I have ours. Jeff's words falter as we suddenly hear voices murmuring from the hallway. "So screwed," he whispers. "The investors are here. I'll go see if I can persuade them to reschedule. Damn, if they agree, that'd be great. But we'll lose brownie points. I guess it's better than to present and have them witness Finn come and go from the bathroom." I bite my lip and cover my hands to my face. This is all my fault. Well, today it's my fault, but I never would have stooped so low to do this if Finn didn't do it first. Now I sound like a pathetic child. Thankfully, Jeff's persuasive power worked, and the investors agreed to meet us with a complete presentation on a different day. I don't know what he said to make them agree like that, but all I know is that No, Finn and I screwed up big time.
Chapter 9. Finn. My face is sour as I look longingly at my empty coffee mug. It's been a day after another laxative incident, courtesy of Brooke, and on the day of the presentation with important investors. No less. Because of her, I've been having a hard time trusting drinks. Starting my day at work without coffee in my system is an internal battle. How Brooke manages to keep up with her work while I was causing her trouble is a skill I want to learn for myself, especially if she's also making her move now. But going to her and seeking lessons on how she does it? Not going to happen. Over my dead body, as if I'd go near her after she sabotaged my presentation like that. It also doesn't help that she only did at least 2 payback attacks, and both successfully hit their mark on me. Speak of the devil, I silently grouse, burying my face on the paperwork I'm trying to read. I hear her and her almost constant companion, Tracy Lane. She's the one who sat on the chair I unscrewed days ago. Brooke and Tracy pass by my cubicle. They stop in one of the water coolers near me and continue to chat, but in hushed tones. Since I couldn't concentrate on what I'm reading without coffee, I think it's more beneficial if I listen in a bit to their conversation. If it's something that can improve my progress in the company, then I need to hear it. I casually roll my seat on the side, pretending to quietly look for some paperwork inside the cabinet near me. I don't want anyone catching me eavesdropping on them. So I was thinking of... Oh, wait a minute. My phone's vibrating. It's still our break time, right? Brooke asks. Would you mind if I take the call? Sure, no problem, Tracy responds. I hear water running. Tracy's probably getting herself a drink while waiting for Brooke to finish her call. It didn't take long before I hear Brooke return to Tracy's side. And is she giggling? I listen closely and realize that yes, she is giggling. As much as I want to tell myself that she sounds like a pathetic little schoolgirl, I can't help but admit that her giggles sound cute. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm happy about that observation. With a shake of my head, I continue my eavesdropping. So, what's up? Tracy asks. Well, I don't know what to feel. I'm pretty torn, to be honest, since I just received good news and bad news in one go. Oh, then if you don't mind, do share. Haha, of course. Isn't that what friends are for? Also, you'll be helping me squeal in delight because that was Jeremy who called. Oh my God. Brooke, don't you think? I hear a muffled squeal, and the imagination of Brooke wanting to squeal so loud but have to cover her mouth to quell, it looks adorable to me. I know. He called to tell me to go with him for the weekend before he goes off to England. I swear, Tracy, this time for sure, Jeremy's going to propose. What the hell? I mouth silently, and all thoughts of how adorable and cute Brooke is vanish from my mind. It's not bad to admire the appearance of your fellow enemy, but doing that to someone who obviously has a boyfriend and is obviously on the cusp of an engagement is a no-go for me. I shake my head as they both giggle and gush over the news. I guess they won't be talking about work again anytime soon. I'm about to wheel my chair back to my desk when I hear Brooke speak again. Well, that's the good news, but the bad news is that I received a text from Jennifer. She said that she wants to see me and Finn first thing in the morning tomorrow. She sighs, and I hear Tracy suck in a breath. Oh, wait. No, that was also me. With a pained wince, I fish out my phone from my pocket and check my messages. And of course, I can see that I do have a message from the boss hanging out in my inbox, waiting for me to notice it. I grimace when I read that she wants to talk to Brooke and me about the shenanigans we've been doing for the past couple of days. With my interest in eavesdropping gone, I wheel myself back to my desk and force myself to work just so I can forget about the incoming confrontation tomorrow. There are times when I'd love the workday to end fast so that I can go home. But today, I hope that the day will slow to a crawl. Unfortunately, such a thing is impossible because the following morning comes in a blink of an eye. Here I am, standing side by side with Brooke while facing Jennifer, who's been lecturing us for the past couple of minutes. What's worse is that I don't see she'll stop reprimanding us anytime soon. We're not kids, I mutter under the breath. Then I promptly wince when Brooke stiffens beside me and Jennifer grows silent. If you both don't want me to treat you like kids, then don't act like one, she says in a low, dangerous tone. I think I prefer her ranting and almost yelling at us for our recent conduct. Because whenever the boss's voice drops low like that, I feel shivers down my spine. So, I just bit my tongue to stop myself from putting my foot in my mouth and ignore Brooke's accusing gaze from the corner of my eye. I think that you two have plenty of free time to spare to be able to pull off the crap you've been doing the past few days. So here's what we're going to do. Jennifer rose from her chair and leans over her desk, her arms bracing her weight as she pierces us with her steely gaze. I'll be doubling your workload for the next couple of weeks. That way, everyone's busy, and your poor co-workers who got roped into your childishness will get some break that they deserve. Oh no.
Chapter 10. Brooklyn. It's been a couple of days since my boss, Jennifer, punished Finn and me for our childish and detrimental behavior. So here I am, working later than usual, which isn't that bad. I don't mind putting more time into my work. However, it just stinks because I have to spend my unpaid overtime with none other than Finn Mitchell, doing jobs that aren't even mine but are delegated to us from co-workers as part of our punishment. What's worse is that today's Friday, the day of the week where I plan to clock out early, laze around in my house, fix up a lazy dinner, watch some Netflix, and get ready to treat myself to some beauty sleep, because I sure as hell am going to need it for tomorrow, when Jeremy finally proposes to me. But unfortunately, it seems that I can't do that because I have to do other people's jobs. Although it's a little comforting that I'm not the only one enduring this, because I can see Finn's hard and frowning face as we work together. I don't want to admit it out loud, but I can at least admit it to myself that, despite his crappy attitude, I'm impressed with Finn's knack for coming up with more practical and faster methods to get the job done in no time without sacrificing the quality of the output. He's impressive, work-wise, but outside of work, his attitude could use a buttload of improvement. Maybe he should apply his fast and practical methods to adjust his attitude, I muse in my head, pursing my lips so that I can stop myself from laughing out loud. Lynn. Huh? Brooklyn. Startled, I jolt up from my seat and blink up at Finn. He's staring at me with a frown, but I see a hint of puzzled confusion in his expression. What? I tell him grumpily, because looking at his face only reminds me that if not for him, I'm back at my house, relaxing and getting a beauty sleep. I said that I think we've done more than enough work for today. What do you say? Let's head out and grab a drink and a bite? I freeze and stare at him, my gaze narrowing to slits. Now I'm really suspicious. He's asking me out to drinks? Like I believe it's just an innocent jaunt. When he sees my expression, he just looks exasperated and scoffs. Look, Brooklyn, you're tired. I'm tired. And we both don't like working on other people's jobs when we can barely keep up with our own tasks. If it makes you feel better, I feel bad because I know that it's my fault we're in this situation together. Jennifer was right about me pulling pranks like a little kid, so I'm trying to be an adult here, owning up to my faults. And I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. What about you? If I think my eyes can't get any narrower, I'm surprised because they just did. I'm still suspicious, but he's right about one thing. I'm tired, thirsty, and hungry. Looking at him, he also looks pretty beat. And if he ever thinks about pulling some of the crap he's been doing for the past days, then I'm alert and ready for it. Fine. I sigh. I guess I'd rather eat something before I head home. I'm afraid if I go home now, I'll just drop like a sack of potato in bed and sleep until late in the morning." "Huh," he puffs. The corner of his lips tilts up with mirth. I'm almost floored because, for the first time since we've met, I see him smile genuinely at me. If I thought he was cute on that first day while he was red-faced angry, then he's definitely cuter when he smiles like this. But I wisely seal my lips and play it cool as we both clean up our workspace and head on over to the pub near our building. As we enter, a huge sign over the makeshift stage greets us. Apparently, other than having a lot of people present since it's Friday, the pub's also having an open mic night again. Finn and I get ourselves an empty table and have a waitress take our orders. Finn suddenly excuses himself, and it immediately puts me on high alert. I still don't trust him, and I think he left to prank me again or something. Well, no matter what it is, I'm not going to fall for it. I've always been aware and lucky enough to avoid his pranks in the past, but I already vowed to myself that the last prank he successfully pulled on me was the one and only thing he gets away with. I'm more than capable of handling whatever he's going to throw my way if he pulls something tonight. So when he returns, I pretend to be innocent and clueless about what he's going to do. "Sorry, call of nature," he tells me as if I needed some explanation. He doesn't know that he's just confirming my suspicions that he, indeed, did something while he was away. Before I can respond to that, the waitress arrived with our food. He thanks the woman as she winks at him and makes a "call me" hand gesture. I'm immediately suspicious again. Did he put something on my food or drink, like something spicy on my sauces, or something that'll make me lose my inhibitions in my drink? "Well, let's dig in," he happily announces while rubbing his hands with anticipation, and then he digs right in with gusto. When I just stare between him and my food with narrowed eyes, he sighs in frustration. "Will you please stop looking at me like I'm the bad guy? Do you think so low of me that I'll poison you or something? Newsflash, Brooklyn, if I do that to you here, the pub will take the blame. I'm not stupid enough to rope this establishment to our rivalry because I like this place. I don't have to drive who knows how long just to wind down after work. Now, eat your damn food. Your stomach's growling has been distracting me." Against my better judgment, I feel a little guilty for thinking those things about him. And he's right. Maybe I'm being so unreasonable because I'm hungry. So with a sigh and a look of apology, I eat. Despite sharing a silent meal with Finn, I find that his presence is not that bad. I know I'm on the verge of changing the way I think about the man. After we finish our meal, and now leisurely nursing our beers, I'm suddenly blinded by the pub spotlight coming down on me. Across me, I see the usual sly smile on Finn's face, and then I knew. I knew he has a trick up his sleeve. He's smiling like a kid, ready to claim his victory when I slowly and reluctantly slide out of my chair and head toward the stage. So this is his plan. To humiliate me on the stage in front of many people. Well, we'll see. When the DJ announces and welcomes me back on stage, along with my pub title, The Crooning Heartbreaker, I revel in the shock that appears on Finn's face. I start singing the pub's favorite song from me, Moon River. I don't know who won between Finn and me, because from my place at the stage, something changed from his expression as he heard me sing, realization and recognition crossing his face. And I know right there and then that something unbelievable just struck him.
Chapter 11. Finn. I thought I'm finally going to get my chance to humiliate and one-up Brooke for tonight. When I saw the open mic night banner in the pub, I thought it was a good opportunity to embarrass her. When I excused myself to go to the bathroom earlier, I took the chance to write her name in the list of open mic participants. But what I didn't expect was to hear the DJ announce that she's actually a regular singer here. And hearing her sing Moon River in that painfully familiar voice of hers. Not only did I lose this round again, but it also made me think that I've been such a fool. And while I watch her sing, her eyes angry and defiant as she watches me in return. I'm having a serious case of mixed emotions, because the girl I've been thinking about for the past couple of days, after hearing her sing Moon River on this same damn pub, is the exact person I've been thinking of as my worst enemy. When Brooke finishes her song, I'm not surprised when the silent pub immediately erupts into boisterous applause. I'm still in shock at my discovery that I absently clap my hands as well. Brooke returns to our table. She looks smug and triumphant, letting me know that she's aware of what I've been up to. Thankfully, I'm still reeling with the revelation that I don't mind having my defeat rubbed over my face like that. "Wow," I say breathlessly as she takes her seat. She just wrinkles her nose at me, though, and downs her beer. After that, she stows her belongings and hops off her seat to get out. Well, she's clearly pissed at me. With a wince, I quickly gather my things and rush to keep up with her, deciding I should talk to her. "Why are you walking with me?" she asks in irritation, when I finally catch up to her a couple of feet away from the pub. "Are you still thinking about ways to humiliate or embarrass me? Maybe a prank or two while we're walking home?" I grimace at the accusation in her tone, but I can't say I blame her. I know I've been making her life hell at work, but that's the point. I want her gone. And my master plan was, if she's not running for the hills from my pranks, then I can at least destroy her chances of having a good performance at work. But I don't know if I want to continue that plan. Hearing her sing back at the pub makes me feel things I'm afraid to dissect at the moment. So avoidance is the best answer I can think of now. And the same goes on how I'm going to respond to Brooke. "That was so amazing, by the way. The way you performed on stage, I mean. I didn't know you can sing so well," I tell her, and I can't help but let my enthusiasm and excitement show. She snorts. She's looking straight ahead of her, but I can see her lips tilt in the corners. "Yeah, well, flattery can get you nowhere with me, Finn Mitchell. Besides, you don't know much about me. So naturally, you don't know that your plan to embarrass me on stage would backfire on you. Again, I don't deny it, but I won't comment on it either. Avoidance is key here right now." That, and some of her words, hit a mark on me. I nod gravely. "Yes, I don't know much about you, and I could say the same to you. We both don't know each other because we mostly spend our time arguing instead of getting to know each other." I hear her sigh beside me. She stops in her tracks, making me stop as well. She turns to face me, planting her hands on her hips, and I tilt my head in her direction. "Will this ever end between us, Finn? Whatever bitterness going on between us? Because to tell you the truth, I'm sick and tired of arguing with you." She taps her heels on the pavement anxiously as she continues. "We're both adults, and we're both professionals. And from a professional's point of view, I know what you're capable of. I don't want to lose a good partner, and I'm afraid I might if we keep this up." I wince at myself because I feel so ashamed for what I did over the week. I didn't realize that I've been so bitter and angry for not getting the promotion that I'm reduced to act like a child and pull pranks. It's embarrassing that the same coworker I treated harshly is trying to make amends when I should be the one doing that. I want to do better. For Brooke, for the company, and for myself. I nod and offer her my hand. "You're right, I'm sorry. It's my fault, and I should be the one to apologize to you for being such a sore loser." Truce. For the first time, I see her smile at me. A smile that doesn't tell me she wishes to lace my drink with yet another batch of laxatives. It's a smile that tells me she genuinely wants this ridiculous bickering between us to end. "Truce!" She grins at me and shakes my hand. "Well, Brooklyn, now that we're friends, does that mean I can make requests when we're in the pub's open mic night sometimes?" I tease. And when she laughs, I feel like all the hard feelings and resentment I have toward her vanished. "Nice try. It depends, though." She lets go of my hand, and we resume our walking while we continue joking with each other. For once, we're bantering instead of bickering, and I find that I like this change. A car then pulls up in front of us, and its door opens. "Oh, Jeremy!" Brooke's face brightens at the sight of the man who waves her inside his vehicle. "I thought he already left," she whispers, more to herself than to me. Oddly enough, this makes my stomach churn because I'm face to face with the guy whom Brooke wants to marry. I don't know why, but the thought of her with that guy sends bad news to my brain. Brooke turns to me and gives me a wave. "Hey, Finn, I gotta go." I force myself a smile. "Yeah, sure." She's halfway toward the car when she suddenly stops and turns back to me. "See you at work, okay?" She grins, and I can't help but laugh. Unexpectedly, I find myself still smiling a stupid smile, even when she's already long gone.
Chapter 12. Brooklyn. I can't deny that I'm feeling good today. My day started crappy because I know I have to stay at work later than usual. I also expected my day to end just as crappy as how it started. However, I wasn't expecting that one surprise number at the pub would mend my sour relationship with Finn. I'm glad that Finn and I finally buried the hatchet. I'm looking forward to nurturing the growing seed of friendship between us. For the first time, I'm not dreading going to work on Monday anymore. More importantly, I'm beyond ecstatic after thinking that Jeremy's probably going to propose to me tonight. I know that he'll be leaving, and I don't mind if we're having a long engagement, if he does propose today. I can wait as long as he'll be there with me. What I can't wait for is to announce the news to Tracy and Finn on Monday. I'm going to be Jeremy's fiancé. Biting my lip to stop myself from squealing in excitement, I let Jeremy lead me to our favorite spot in Central Park. It's the part near the lake where a gorgeous tree is growing, one where we have both our names carved. Since it's the end of the working week, there are plenty of people still loitering around, enjoying the freedom from work. However, our spot gives us a little bit of privacy from strangers. The soft, glowing reflections of the lamps on the lake also make our spot feel magical. This is the perfect place to propose to me, and I'm proud and touched at how thoughtful and romantic Jeremy is to plan this. I glance at Jeremy. He's looking out thoughtfully into the semi-darkness, and I know what that look means. It seems he's mulling over something, and I'm getting more and more impatient and restless as I wait for him to propose to me. With a bite of my lip, I turn in his direction and ask him innocently, "So, Jeremy, I thought you'll be picking me up at home tomorrow morning so that we could spend the weekend together? Since you came over to pick me up tonight, though, I bet there's something important you want to tell me?" He just nods absently, still looking out into the darkness. It's kind of worrying, more than annoying, but maybe this is just his ploy to catch me off guard before popping the question. If that's so, then I have no complaints. There's nothing else for me to do but wait patiently and pretend to be ignorant. "Brooke," he starts, and I lean a little closer. The air freezes in my throat, not daring myself to breathe, lest I don't hear the words I've been wanting to hear for so long. You know that I'm leaving, right? And I've thought about it for quite some time. It's just that... He glances at me for the first time since we arrived at our spot before scratching the side of his head. He turns to me and holds both my hands together, and I fight against the urge to close my eyes and squeal. This is it. He's going to ask me, "Will you?" "Yes," I cry out as tears begin to fill my eyes. Understand my decision? Because I honestly don't know where our relationship is at right now. And I swear I can hear a pin drop. Both of us are frozen and staring wide-eyed at each other. What? I whisper in a low, trembling voice. Jeremy's pained expression is all the answer I need. I don't want him to repeat whatever the hell he just told me, because I know I wasn't just hearing things. But I don't know what to do with myself now. I'm torn between feeling embarrassed for assuming or being angry at him. Brooke, you didn't think that I can't. He sighs and looks away. It's not you, Brooke. It's me. You'll be here, and I'll be far away from you. It'll never work between us, so I think it's best if we call it quits before we hurt ourselves even more. Anger. I definitely pick being angry with Jeremy right now, since it's the only emotion I can control. I should channel my anger, because if I don't, I'll... Too late. My mind jeers at me when I feel my hands begin to shake. My heartbeat spikes, and I feel my throat tightening up. I have to pant just to keep breathing. The view around me begins to blur, and I know that I'm having another episode of my panic attack. All the emotions seem to choke me that I have to slowly lower myself down to the ground to get better control over my breathing. When that didn't work, I know I have to turn to my last resort. So with shaking fingers, I fumble over my purse and quickly pour over the contents to take my pill. Reluctantly, I accept the water bottle that Jeremy offers. Even though I'm hurt and full of resentment, I don't want to harm my overall health because of him. I'm not going to give him the honors. So, despite all of the emotions swirling inside me, I manage to calm down with the help of my medication. I'm silent, and I keep my lips sealed after that, because I don't want to break down again and trigger another attack. Jeremy witnessing me having an episode after asking for a breakup is more than enough for one night, so I just let him take me back home with neither of us saying a word to each other. As soon as his car pulls over in front of my place, I quickly get out before he can talk. I storm inside my house and lock my doors. Making a beeline to my room, I let myself fall into bed, not bothering to change my clothes. With nothing else to do, I cry my heart out all through the night.
Chapter 13. Finn. Finally, it's Monday again. I smile at the receptionist as I almost find myself skipping toward the elevator. It doesn't take a genius to know that I'm in such a good mood today, and on a Monday, no less. But well, what can I say? I just discovered that the mysterious siren who sings the most beautiful rendition of my favorite song, Moon River, is none other than my hated rival, Brooklyn Miller. It was a shocking experience for me, but the incident made me realize what a dirtbag I've been for the past week. After that day, though, I'm proud to say that my relationship with Brooke is improving for the better. And because of that, I'm actually looking forward to seeing her again, this time. Not as her enemy, but as her friend, coworker, and partner. Just as it should be. Maybe my good mood is also a result because, for once, I'm not stressing out and spending plenty of sleepless nights thinking about my next course of attack. I finally spent my weekend relaxing and recharging myself for the week. I almost forgot how glorious it feels. Not only that, but I also found out that she's actually a fun person to hang around with. She's funny, can take a joke, witty, and charming. And let's not forget that she has a golden set of pipes in her throat. As soon as I hit our office floor, I walk past Brooke's cubicle and casually poke my head in, wanting to test the waters of our newfound friendship. But I frown when I see that she's not there yet. Wondering if I was earlier than I thought, I glance at my watch and see that I'm right on time. Brooke should be here by now, otherwise she'll be late. I wonder what happened to her after she left with her boyfriend. I hope that she's not running late because of that. Time passes by, and it's almost lunch break. I'm about to reach for my phone to casually ask Jennifer if she's aware of Brooke's absence when, from the corner of my eye, I see Brooke stride toward her cubicle as if in a rush, wearing huge dark sunglasses. I notice her sluggish gait, and boy, she doesn't look good. I glance at my watch. It's just a minute until lunch break. I know just the thing that can cheer up a soul in no time. I hop off my chair and head toward the pantry. I begin making a special hot chocolate drink, topped with whipped cream and marshmallows. I then put the hot cocoa on Brooke's desk and make myself comfortable as I take my seat. Even though I can't see her eyes through the dark sunglasses, I know that she's staring at the warm drink balefully. She sighs and tiredly rubs her temple. I don't like seeing her like this. I'd prefer the Brooke who doesn't back down in the face of my pranks, but this Brooke just looks defeated, and it's downright unnatural. I'm not in the mood for your pranks, Finn. Go away and leave me alone. No, I'm not up to anything. I gesture toward the hot cocoa. It's both a peace offering and a sign of goodwill. I'm your friend now, and as your friend, I made something, hoping to cheer you up. She bites her lip and looks torn for a moment before she shakes her head and whispers, Well, I love hot cocoa, and I'm not saying no to a free drink. She reaches for the drink and took a small sip. She takes another sip and gives me a small smile. I nod, feeling beyond pleased because her contented sigh and the peace that seemed to descend on her face are more than enough thanks for me. It tastes amazing. Her voice falters, and her hold on the mug tightens. You know, I hear that sharing your burdens will make you feel even better. Care to tell me what's up? But you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Just know that from now on, I've got your back. And that seems to break down the walls Brooke's been building around her emotions. Like a broken dam, everything bursts out of those demolished walls of hers, as she tells me all about what happened that day. She tells me how she thought her boyfriend, Jerry or whatever, would propose to her only to tell her that he was breaking up with her. She confides that her world has fallen apart and that all her plans in love and life are ruined beyond repair. My wristwatch chirps, telling me that lunch break is over and making me realize that I haven't eaten yet. But being with Brooke and making her feel better is more important than my stomach. Besides, I can always sneak into the pantry if I want to. I stand from my seat and reach over to pat Brooke's shoulder. Hey, I think it's a blessing in disguise. Now you know what a jerk he is. Consider it as dodging a bullet. Also, don't be so uptight about your life. Loosen up and don't stress so much. You never know that life works best when it's out of our control. I smile at her and turn to leave. I hope she'll think about what I said, but I'm confident Brooke will bounce back on her feet in no time.
Chapter 14. Brooklyn. I'm helplessly wringing my hands as I wait for Finn to park his car in front of my parents' place. They're currently throwing a party at their villa and informed me days ago. However, the thought of going alone terrifies me to no end. And since Jeremy and I are already over, I make it a point to ask someone at work to be my buddy. I already knew that Tracy will be having a date on the same day as the party, so I didn't bother asking her. Not only that, but I also feel a little bit awkward and envious of Tracy since her love life is faring better than mine. And as the only other person close to me, I asked Finn. He's actually the closest person I have at work ever since he gave me that delicious hot cocoa. I almost wanted to hug him tightly for agreeing to come with me. I'm sure that the news of my recent breakup is already a hot topic with my parents and their guests. I'm just so not in the mood to deal with their fake sympathy and pitying looks. That's why going alone to the party is a huge no-no in my book. Besides, I'm confident that Finn's a changed guy. At first, I feared that we'd return to our childish and bickering selves once we returned to work after the weekend's over. I thought the good mood and the friendship we formed were just a fluke. To the point I was expecting Finn to make fun of me and jeer about my lateness on that Monday. But I'm really glad that wasn't the case. I'm happy that even though my relationship with Jeremy went down the drain, at least I have my friendship with Finn intact. What Finn said to me also helped with my mood and somewhat cheered me up. I appreciate his thoughtfulness with the hot cocoa as well. I jump when I feel someone holding my hand. I breathe a sigh of relief when I turn and see Finn's concerned face. Oh, it's just you. He gives me a crooked grin and squeezes my hand reassuringly. What? Who did you think I was? Bigfoot? Also, why are you shaking like a leaf? Don't tell me that there is a Bigfoot here at your folks' place after all. I laugh, shaking my head at him. But at the same time, I appreciate his attempts to settle me with humor. If it's just Bigfoot, then I won't be half as scared, I mutter. Before Finn can ask further questions, I open the door to my side and slip out, letting him assist me inside the villa. I don't expect anything during the party. All I want is to come in and endure it for a couple of hours before getting the hell out. I sure didn't expect Finn to be the star of the party either. Every time Finn talks to a guest, he's somehow making them fall under his spell. He instantly became the crowd favorite for his charm, wit, and humor. He's just that good at communicating and entertaining people. And as much as I don't want to do it, I eventually have to introduce Finn to my parents. Not because Finn's embarrassing me to them, but because they'll embarrass me to Finn. I really don't want to lose his friendship or his respect if ever something goes wrong with talking to my parents. And from my experience in the past, something always goes wrong whenever I talk to my parents. Mom, Dad, I say as soon as we're standing in front of my parents. This is Finn Mitchell, my partner at Progresso. My mother just raises a questioning brow my way, and I take that as my cue to tell them about the job I got at Progresso, what I do there, and what projects I've been working on with Finn. However, I'm not surprised to see their faces turn sour with every word that got out of my mouth, their expressions becoming bitter with every glance they send Finn's way, as if they both don't like hearing me tell them about my job and bringing him with me to the party. Really, Brooklyn, my mother says, her tone exasperated. It's already disappointing that you broke up with Jeremy for this person. She gestures toward Finn. I gasp in outrage, and I swear my blood is boiling, but when I glance at Finn, he's just staring at my parents impassively. It's as if he just didn't hear that he's been insulted in front of his face. My father harumphs. I already told you that your mother and I don't approve of you working in that company, Brooklyn. Some two-bit small-town company is no good for you. You're better off working in a bigger firm overseas, so you best get to groveling and beg Jeremy to take you back and to take you with him to work in his company. This is humiliating? No, that's an understatement. This is worse than the humiliation I've undergone in my youth. I can feel my throat tightening and my breath spiking up. And when I look away from them, my eyes widen when I see that the guests are all staring at us. From the looks of their faces, there's no doubt that they heard what my parents just told me, especially since I know my father's voice is on the loud side. The choking feeling got worse. I begin to sweat and I can feel my hands shaking. No, not now. I silently beg my body, but it's not listening. I'm having this panic attack right here and right now, in front of my parents, in front of the guests, and in front of Finn. I barely notice the strong hands cup each side of my shoulders, and Finn saying, "Thank you for showing your unusual support with your daughter, Mr. and Mrs. Miller. I hope you'll excuse us." With that, he immediately herds me away from my parents and the crowd. He finally helps me sit on one of the stone benches, littering the villa's garden. Now that I'm sitting, I'm able to catch a couple of breaths, making it easier for me to fish out a pill from my purse. A couple of moments after I took the pill, I find myself calming down, but mostly because of Finn's presence. He doesn't talk to me or press me to tell him what just happened or why my parents are like that. He's just there for me. And I never thought that means so much to me. So I'm not surprised that I'm suddenly opening up to him. I tell him about my panic attacks, how they came from anxiety and pressure coming from my parents' expectations, and how stress makes me undergo an episode. I also tell him how the endless bullying I've experienced in school made it worse, which continued in college because people hate me for being too competitive. I'm actually telling him more than I told Jeremy. Maybe because deep down, I know Jeremy won't be as patient and as understanding as Finn. And when Finn pales after I finish talking about my bullies, I can see the regret in his eyes. I know that he feels guilty about his treatment of me in the past. And when he pulls me into his arms for a warm hug, I really can't help myself but forgive him.
Chapter 15. Finn. I glance at my wristwatch as I wait outside the building. Brooke, I call out, raising my hand the moment I see her familiar form rounding the corner. She looks around for a moment before her eyes meet mine, and then she smiles brightly at me, her eyes sparkling too. I prefer that look on her face compared to the one she's wearing while we were at her parents' party. I still can't believe that they can be so cruel, treating their only daughter like that. As someone who depends on the ability to size up people and figure them out in mere moments after conversing with them, I perfectly know what type of people Brooke's parents are. They have their snooty heads so high up their butts that if someone doesn't adhere to their standards, which is perfection, they're automatically considered inferior species. The only other people they consider somehow within their league are the same people who act and think like them. Since Brooke isn't like them, I'm not surprised by the way they treated her. And me? Well, after seeing the way they look at me, I already knew that I'm nowhere near their standards. I was disgusted when they insulted Brooke and acted as if I'm not there. And because of that, it's humbling that after all she's been through from her parents and her bullies, she's still willing to forgive and trust me not to treat her again like how they treated her. That's why I make it my mission to treat her better. So the following Monday morning, I wait for her outside of the office building so that we could go inside together. Eventually, this becomes a habit, and I start waiting for her every day. But it doesn't stop there. We also eat lunch together. Sometimes Tracy and Jeffrey join us. Other times, it's just Brooke and me. To be honest, I prefer having lunch with Brooke alone than listening to Tracy narrate every single thing about her boyfriend or enduring Jeff's teasing looks, which Brooke never notices, thankfully. With each day that passes by, Brooke and I become closer. We're now so close that if we tell newcomers that we once hated each other's gut, they won't believe it. Well, I can't believe it myself that Brooke and I used to fight like cats and dogs. But now, we understand more about each other, and it helps us figure out our strengths and weaknesses. So today, when it's time for us to present the project we've been working on, Brooke and I are confident. As we prepare for the presentation, I suddenly remember the meeting when Brooke made me drink a laxative coffee. "What are you laughing about?" Brooke asks as she finishes setting up our presentation. I shrug and give her a crooked grin. I just remembered the last time we're in this conference room together. You dork. I'm not apologizing for that, but I promise not to poison your drink again. She giggled, punching me playfully in my arm, and I can't help laughing with her. Once we finished our setup, the clients arrive and we begin our presentation. Ever since we became friends, I noticed that Brooke becomes more and more amazing. She has a knack for saying the right things at the right time that the clients are hooked to her every word, their eyes gleaming with the promise of great returns for their business. As soon as our presentation ended, I'm not surprised that Brooke and I got the account. "Thank you, Mr. Tanaka," I nod, smiling as I reach for the businessman's hand and give it a firm shake. From the corner of my eye, I can see Brooke doing the same with Mr. Tanaka's companion. When the clients left the room, I glance over at her and see her staring at me. After a moment, we burst into laughter and we punch the air, celebrating our success. Even though it's not surprising and I already expected us to get the account, that doesn't mean it's not making us feel good and proud of ourselves. However, what I don't expect and what caught me by surprise is when Brooke suddenly turns to me and hugs me tightly. My eyes widen, and I seem to have frozen in place. I'm just so shocked. Even though we share a bond and a closeness like never before, we're not really touchy with each other. And being embraced by her feels good. It feels great. So before she can wonder why I'm just standing there like an idiot, I wrap my arms around her, returning her hug and savoring the feel of her in my arms. It feels as if she belongs here with me in my arms, forever. Whoa! Hold your horses, I immediately tell my brain. I awkwardly clear my throat, gently peeling her away from me and holding her at arm's length. I force out a smile so that she won't worry and start asking questions I don't know the answer to. Brooke, I hear the pub's having another open mic night. Want to go celebrate after work? Sure. Since I'm in the mood, I'll sing Moon River just for you. She beams at me, and I think something inside me shifted.
Chapter 16. Brooklyn. So far, the celebration tonight has been going well. It's somehow chill and cozy in the pub. It's not too noisy. It has a good number of people around, but it's not too full. I'm with my buddy Finn. We're celebrating the night after sealing a major account earlier today. I raise my glass of whiskey and look at him straight in his eyes. Cheers. Finn smiles. And clang goes our glasses. Finn has, for sure, an incredible pair of blue eyes. They're like clear blue rivers, fully capable of mirroring your reflection. Finn's beautiful, you know. Of course, he's also smart. How many times did he try to outwit me? Those blue eyes are also fierce and cunning when he fights for his truths, beliefs, and the things he cares about so much. But tonight, I'm happy to see those eyes are calm and relaxed. I need to pee, excuse me? Be right back in a flash. How comfortable it is to say that to him. Truly, we have evolved ourselves from enemies to great friends. As I wash my hands in the sink, I can't help but think about how Finn and I misunderstood each other before. But when we got to know each other well, we realized we have a connection and can be good friends. As I get out of the toilet, I immediately see a blonde at our table talking to Finn. She keeps on smiling sweetly at him. Hi. I greet her with a warm smile as I return to my seat. Hello? She greets me in a friendly tone. So, you're with Finn here. She looks at Finn. I also look at him. Finn's pale. His eyes seem worried, and he has some sweat on his nape. He looks tense. Is he okay? He seems to be uneasy with this pretty girl. My name is Brooklyn, Brooke for short. You can call me that, I say, hoping to break Finn's uneasiness even a bit. What a great name. I'm Courtney. She offers me a handshake. Courtney, that's a real hot and attractive name, I comment while we're shaking hands. Finn smiles dryly at us. Sorry, I forgot to introduce you to each other. Then, right after that, there's a long silence at the table. Courtney and I are just smiling awkwardly at each other. Finn, on the other hand, keeps his eyes on anything and everything that's not us. For some reason, I don't want to ask Courtney any questions. I'm so bothered by the uneasy look on Finn's face. I'm scared he might get mad if I ask her anything. Courtney sighs as she pins a serious sticky look on Finn. He, on the other hand, seems to pretend he doesn't notice. She then looks at me. I think I must get back to my table. I just smile and nod. Courtney gets up and smiles warmly for the last time. Nice meeting you, Brooklyn. It's only after she leaves that Finn turns his sight and attention back to our table. He looks at me and smiles awkwardly. Who's that? I ask. A friend. Finn clears his throat. A friend? I used to know her well. Well, I smell something fishy. I raise a brow. Come on, let's just chill here, okay? We're here to have a good time. I glance at Courtney. She's talking to her friends now, but glimpsing at us. All right. I raise both my arms in resignation. I'll drop down the topic. I don't want to ruin this night. The band plays a familiar tune, a song from a movie. I dare Finn to sing along with it. He agrees, but he grabs me as he makes his way to the microphone. We were laughing in between our singing. But we feel like Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant with the song, Way Back into Love. I won't deny it. I feel some butterflies in my stomach when I look at Finn and feel him near me. When we head out of the pub, Finn talks about his desire for promotion in the office. I understand that. He's also a dreamer like me. And when he says that, his eyes shine with honesty. I feel a beat inside my heart. He badly wants the position. Certainly he'll work so hard if he gets it, proving to everyone that he deserves it. We're dancing as we walk, singing some songs we've heard from the pub earlier. Then it starts to snow. I'm telling about my childhood fascination with Snow Queen when Finn approaches and suddenly brushes my cheek. "There's a snowflake," he explains. I smile at him, feeling the butterflies in my stomach all over again. I thought he'd move away after that, but surprisingly, he moves closer to me, so close that I can feel his breath. Finn kisses me. It's sweet, warm, and comforting in the middle of this cold weather. I return his kisses with passion. I've been offered the promotion that Finn wants to get. Tonight, I'll make a decision. I'll turn it down for the person I love.
Chapter 17. Finn. I'm called to Jennifer's office at 10 in the morning. I breathe heavily as I straighten out the little wrinkles on my long sleeves. There are 3 reasons a person is being called to our boss's office at 10 in the morning. 1, she's about to hand you a very hard assignment. 2, you have done something terribly wrong. Or 3, she's about to tell you some good news. My mind is contemplating the first 2 reasons. But what have I done wrong? Did I offend someone? Did the clients the other day back out? Oh, wait, they can't do that, can they? They've signed an agreement already. Did I forget to submit a very important deliverable to her? Oh, maybe I did. Damn, Finn. I exhale loudly. I stand up and head out, going straight to Jennifer's office. I clear my throat nervously. Good morning. Jennifer's reading a newspaper with a cup of coffee. Hi. Don't worry. This won't take much of your time. She doesn't even offer me to take a seat. Is she going to fire me? I just nod. So, she continues, with the advent of recent events, I've decided to give you the promotion. What? Did she say it right? Did my ears hear it right? Promotion. I got the promotion, I ask, shocked. Yes, did I just stutter? Jennifer sarcastically responds. You're promoted, got it? Don't make me think you don't deserve this one. I compose myself. Of course I won't fail you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good. As you well know, I don't like wasting a lot of time. Now my assistant will set a meeting with you later today or tomorrow morning and make you sign a new contract. Yes, noted, Jennifer. That's all. I turn around wearing a big smile on my face. I flash this to the assistant by the door, too. I jump and scream once I'm outside her office. Good thing no one's around the hallway. Whew, I did. I made it. My heart seems to burst with great happiness. I need to see Brooke and tell her about this. I want to share this milestone with her, so I text her to meet me up on the rooftop. As I make my way, dancing and prancing on the hallways, I come across Jeff. I greet him on a lovely morning, but he suddenly stops and pulls a worried face. He stares at me. What, Jeff? Any problems? I ask. Have you talked to Jennifer today? He seems worried. Yes, just now. Why? I'm so sorry, Finn, that you didn't get the promotion. Wait, what? I just had a meeting with Jennifer telling me. I got it. Why is he telling me this? I look at him, confused. What are you saying, Jeff? Jennifer decided to hand the promotion to Brooklyn. Oh, Brooke, what's going on here? Have you spoken with Brooke today? Jeff asks. I'm about to. I smile lightly. I think I know what's going on now. Brooklyn's been offered first with the promotion. Brooklyn's the first choice, and she didn't accept it. She declined, but why? Excuse me, I have to go. I'm about to meet her, actually. Jeff nods, and I run down to the elevator. Brooke has just got there when I reach the rooftop. She's wearing a big, joyous smile. Of course, she knows I got the promotion because she declined it. So what? Any good news today? She asks with a glee. I just walk toward her in silence. So, Finn, what's up? I went up here. So, what's the news? Why did you decline the promotion? I ask straightforwardly. What? I got the promotion. Congratulations, Finn! But you already know it because you refused it, I point out. What? What are you talking about? Why did you refuse the promotion? She swallows. I just don't like it. You don't like it? My voice rises. Are you kidding me? Weeks ago, you're totally into it. I don't like it anymore. My perspective changed. She winces. Perspective? I don't get it, Brooke. I just don't like it anymore. I don't like the pressure and the great responsibility that comes with it. Really? I give out a sarcastic laugh. Do you hear what you're saying, Brooke? What? What do you mean by that? She's also raising her voice now. I think you can reason out way better than that. Excuse me, Finn. Are you mad because I turn it down? You should be happy because you finally got it. Exactly, I finally yell, and it both surprises and scares her. She looks at me with two widened eyes. Exactly, Brooke, I sigh. You pitied me, right? You pitied me because I've told you I really want the promotion. That's why you decided to turn it down, so that they'll hand it over to me. Brooke's brows meet. What are you talking about, Finn? I hate being pitied, Brooke. I hate it so much. I say it flatly. Pitied? She nods and looks up at the sky. She nods again, as if realizing something. Thanks, Finn. Brooke angrily walks past me, leaving the rooftop. Wow, look at her. Why is she the one who's pissed? I'm the one who needs an explanation here. I'm the one who's offended. I know for sure that she declined the promotion because she pitied me. I don't like that. But honestly, I also don't like it when she's pissed with me. An explanation, that's all I want from her.
I hope you're enjoying this audiobook by Vic Savon. If you want to keep hearing more audiobooks, then please, please, please hit that subscribe button and like the video. It may seem insignificant, but the more people that subscribe, the easier it is to produce more audiobooks in the future. So please, help us out and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for listening, and now back to your book.
Chapter 18, Finn. I must admit, I'm also at fault with what happened between Brooke and me on the rooftop. Regardless if she pitied me or not, I shouldn't have lost my temper and yelled at her. I should have kept my cool. After all, she's been treating me as a good friend, and I've treated her as a close friend too. Or maybe more than just a friend. It's been 2 weeks since we stopped interacting with each other. In the hallways, Brooke pretends she doesn't see me. We've turned ourselves into strangers. Funny, we've started as enemies in the workplace, then eventually we became friends. Now we turned into strangers, which I think is worse than when we were enemies. But I can't take Brooke's absence any longer. It feels strange, and it's not okay. So I swallow up my pride. Maybe I'm too proud after all, and shoot her a text message. Can I meet you tonight in the pub? The same pub as the last time. She's read it, but she doesn't reply. I just want to personally apologize, Brooke. I'm sorry for yelling. I shouldn't have done that. She leaves it on read again, so I sent her a third message. I want to talk to you. For the third time, she doesn't reply. But persistence and consistency are the keys here. I'm at fault, so I shouldn't give up. I miss her so bad, too. I miss you, Brooke, I say in my fourth message. My phone beeps. Finally, a reply from her. What time tonight? She asks. 7:30, I reply. Brooke doesn't reply. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that she asked about the time, meaning she'll come to the pub tonight. Yes. I'm 30 minutes early in the pub. I got myself a bottle of beer while waiting for Brooke. As usual, it's not too crowded and loud here. I notice Courtney walking in my direction. There's something clever in her smile. Hi, she greets me. What's up, Finn? Hello. I smile dryly at her. It's been a long time, Finn. Truly, she has one of the world's most amazing faces. She's hot. She's fun. But even if I'm in front of someone as gorgeous as her, my mind is only filled with Brooke. I didn't notice when it started, but I've grown to love her. I love just being with her. I love everything about her. Yes, Courtney. And I think we should move on with our own lives, I managed to say to her. She scoffs. Move on? What? Are you settling down with that girl you've brought in here last time? Courtney, I glare at her. So that's it? You don't want to play anymore? Gosh, you've become a bore ever since you came with her. She looks at me from my head down to my toes. Look, I'm sorry, Courtney. I'm so sorry for flirting with you. I shouldn't have done that. Now I've decided not to do that anymore. So please stop as well. Her nostrils flare. Did she make you do this? What are you talking about? No one ever tells me how to think, Courtney. I think and decide on my own. You're thinking now? Courtney sarcastically laughs. Where's the Finn who's all for fun? Where's the Finn who's always adventurous? But Courtney doesn't wait for my retort. She pushes herself toward me and kisses me hard. My eyes pop out of great surprise. To my horror, I see Brooke in the doorway. Her face is clearly shocked by what she's seeing. Brooke then runs out of the pub, and I immediately push Courtney away. Brooke, I called her out. It's not what you think it is. I follow her outside, but she's no longer there. I can't see her anywhere. Where can she be? I have to look for her and explain what happened.
Chapter 19. Brooklyn. I hid at the back alley after storming out of the pub that night. I didn't want to see Finn. I hated him at that very moment. Now I have a third cup of hot cocoa drink on my table on this chilly morning. Cocoa drinks every day won't make me easily forget what happened, Finn. First, he yelled at me, saying I didn't accept the promotion because I pitied him. Okay, I can easily forgive him for that, since he doesn't know how I truly feel for him. But that kiss with Courtney? I think I need more than cups of hot cocoa drink and a mountain of text messages from him. Finn keeps on sending me text messages, explaining that Courtney was the one who pushed herself to him and kissed him. He was there in the pub, waiting for me. He said he didn't know she'd be there too. And he finally confessed that he used to flirt with Courtney before. I knew it. I could smell it from the awkwardness we had that night when we first met. So, you need to exert more effort, Finn. But honestly, I miss him. I miss our conversations. I miss his peals of laughter. I miss his voice singing way back into love. I even miss his occasional teasing. But I must solidify my stand that I need more from him, other than messages and cups of cocoa. Maybe this is pride. But I don't want him to think I'm an easy girl. I need him to realize that for every wrong action, there's a heavy consequence. Will I forgive him? Of course I will. I love him. But not just yet. It's after dinner. I have nothing much to do, so I decided to have a stroll at Central Park. I'm enjoying the lights and the night breeze when suddenly someone approaches me. Brooke, he greets. I turn around and the first thing I see is his protruding chest. I know that chest so well. It belongs to my ex, Jeremy. Well, even though our relationship wasn't so good, I shouldn't be rude to him. Oh, you're here. Hi. I greet him politely. How are you? Fine. I'm good. What's this? A small talk with Jeremy? Good to hear that. What are you doing here, Jeremy? But he just tosses the ball into my court. You? What are you doing here? Just strolling around. I got nothing to do and it's quite early to go home. I see. I actually followed you here, he confesses. Is he stalking me? I raise a brow, asking why. He continues. I went to your office, but you've already left. I went to your favorite dining places. You just finished your meal when I found you, so I followed you here. Couldn't find the right chance to talk until now. Okay, so why did you look for me? He sighs. I want you back, Brooke. I want us to be back together. My mouth opens in shock. I realized I still want you, Brooke. I don't know what to do and what to say, but honestly, I don't want to be back with him. I don't want to be back to a stressful phase in my life. Brooke, I want you back, Jeremy repeats. Jeremy, do you love me? Do you really love me? I ask. He moves his gaze around. I think so. You think? Yes. I won't want you if I don't love you. I shake my head. It's not the same. Sometimes you just want to be with someone so that no one can label you as alone. Or sometimes you want to be with someone so that you can use that person to your benefit. It's not the same. No, Jeremy, I'm not coming back. I tell him the truth. What? Why? I'm happier now. He sighs and falls silent for some seconds. Then his eyes glare at me. You know what? You'll never be happy in your life, Brooke. I open my mouth, wanting to contest. What's this? Why is he angry at me? Just because I confessed the truth? That's it. That's the problem with him. He never accepts anything that's not in his favor. He quickly adds, where can you find someone who can stand your attitude, huh? It's because of that weird and difficult to read attitude of yours that drives people away. Have you ever wondered why you don't have many friends? It's because of that. What he said hits me. Seriously, is my attitude really bad? I suddenly feel my heart thumping so fast that I think it might burst inside my chest any moment. My palms turn sweaty. I find it hard to breathe, as if my nostrils and lungs have both closed their pathways for air. I clutch my chest and catch my breath. You don't deserve anyone. You don't deserve me, Jeremy continues. You'll never end up with anyone. You are an emotional burden. No one wants to be with you. You'll grow old all alone. I feel dizzy. I move my arms in search of something to hold on to, but there's nothing. I slide my hands into my coat's pockets to look for my medicine, but gosh, I left them at home. And so, the inevitable happens. I pass out. The next thing I know, Jeremy is carrying me, no longer murmuring about my attitude, and bringing me inside an ambulance. There are nurses, and all of them wear worried faces. I try so hard to fully open my eyes, but they can't. Chapter 20. Brooklyn. I wake up seeing Finn asleep in a chair beside my bed. How long has he been here? Finn, I call him. Finn? I'm starting to worry that his back might be hurting from his position. He wakes up slowly. I smile at him. When he realizes that I'm fully awake, he sits straight and fixes his hair. Hi, I weakly say. Hi. He smiles sweetly. I clear my throat. How long was I asleep? At least 6 hours. 6 hours. I widen my eyes. I look around this immaculately white hospital room. It's just us, alone in this room at this moment. I look at the window. It's still dark. What time is it? Dawn, 3 a.m. Finn replies after checking his watch. Gosh, how long have you been here? Finn approaches and sits on my bed's edge. It's okay. No hours are ever long for you. Why is that so, Finn? Finn touches my nose and caresses my cheeks. I'll never hurt you like how Jeremy did to you, Brooke. I move my hand to catch his and hold it tightly. I want to hear the reason behind that statement of his. I look at him sincerely. He smiles. I love you, Brooke. And that's the statement I've long been waiting for. How sweet it is to hear that from him. My heart is jumping inside my chest, not because of some silly panic, but because of tremendous joy. I love you too, I whisper. He kisses me, first on my forehead, then on my nose, and finally on my lips. It's gentle but filled with longing and thirst. He pulls back, and we smile sweetly at each other. He then hugs me. It's the most wonderful hug I've felt in my life. Finn lies on the bed and motions for me to also lie back beside him. Of course, I do as he asked. His warmth is very comforting, and his smell intoxicates me. It relaxes every nerve in my body. I love you, he whispers again while planting a kiss on my forehead. I love you too, I whisper back, looking up at him. Finn lifts my face and kisses my lips. Then he inserts his tongue, meeting mine. We continue to kiss until I can feel his hand touching my chest, caressing it like a long-lost friend. I pull back and ask, will the nurse visit us in any minute now? He laughs a bit. She'll check on you at 7 a.m. I just laugh and return my lips to his. I know what he wants to do right at this very instant. I also want that. And the best way for that to happen, considering the tiny hose connecting me and my dextrose, is to be gentle. This platform wants to be gentle too, and that's why it's putting a stop to the naughty bits. But don't worry. You can still get them when you grab the unabridged version of this audiobook from BWWM Plus, with code VIXA40, you can get a 40% discount on all your favorite audiobooks and ebooks. Thanks for listening to Enemies to Lovers by Vixa. I laugh while lowering down my hospital gown. The pleasure is still lingering in my senses. Oh, Finn, that's weird and unbelievable. Yes, it is. He plants a kiss on my forehead. I love you, I whisper to him again. I love you too, he replies. We sleep on my bed after that gentle and romantic hospital room lovemaking. When a nurse later arrives during her rounds, she's quite surprised to see us both sleeping on the bed. She even laughs a bit. Finn, who seems to be a bit embarrassed, quickly gets up and hops on the chair nearby. I laugh. I know for sure I'll be really happy with this guy. There'll no longer be faking, no hiding of my true self from him. I really love Finn. And I'm so thankful that we met and fallen in love. How fortunate am I, right?
Chapter 21. Finn. How do you know a night is beautiful? I ask. Brooke's gaze is still locked on the streets below us, admiring the lights and the movements in this big city. You just feel it, she replies, lifting her head to look at me. She smiles, her eyes glowing. It's so nice to see her in good spirits again. I'd been with her almost every day in the hospital during her recuperation. It took her a week before returning to work. With nothing much to do at those times, I brought her breakfasts and took her out every night. Soon, in the office, we worked together as partners. She also helps me control my temper. She always reminds me that I should be the bigger person in every situation. I work harder now in the office, proving to everyone that I deserve the promotion. You can say I'm under a lot of pressure now, but Brooke is beside me, cheering me up and telling me I'm doing good. Right now, Brooke and I are having some cans of beer. It's Friday night, and we're on the rooftop of the office. It's been a long week, and we wanted to chill a bit. Brooke doesn't want to go to a bar or a restaurant tonight, so I suggested the rooftop. She loved that idea. Brooke's health is better these days. She seems much happier now. She's radiating. There are no obvious vestiges of her panic attacks anymore. Sometimes I think maybe it's because of me. That makes me laugh, but I'd like to think I'm the reason for her happiness. So I should never let her down. Like my job, I should let her know that I deserve her love. I should never do things that might upset her. I stare at her intently. What did I do to deserve this wonderful person in front of me? It's funny now to think that we've started as enemies. But look at us now. I'll never leave this girl. She's a blessing in my life. Whatever may happen, I'll stand by her. You know what? I'll always love you, I say to her. Brooke smiles at me. Me too. I'll always love you, no matter what happens in the future. Even if great changes happen in our lives, even if she reaches the point of not being in love with me anymore, I know for sure that I'll always love her. I'll never make you feel alone again, I promise her. Is that a fact? She asks. I nod. Thank you, she quickly adds. I lift her face to kiss her lips. I love Brooke, and I know she loves me too. It's so nice to finally find the one who loves me. Everything fits perfectly in my life now. One day, sure enough, I'll ask this girl for her hand, and I'll promise my eternity with her.